2 The Redline Productions proudly presents.
Hey there, YouTube. Well, today I wanted to tour this 2008 Mercedes-Benz C300 with 48,000 miles. Take a look in the back. You can really see some styling cues of the S-Class and a little bit of the CLS, kind of like a mix-up between the two, just all crammed together. Now, this car does ride on 225 45 17s. You can see the rear disc brakes. You can see the all-glass roof, even into the back seat. I don't know if you guys can make out the dual exhaust tips. Now you can see this beautiful beige interior. It's a nice color. Show you a better angle. Now the seats are perforated here in the inserts. Powered right here for the backrest. Thigh support. Seat is already adjusted to where I like it actually. Here's the key fob. Lock, unlock, trunk, panic. You can see there's no metal key or anything coming out, and this is not a smart key. Well, somewhat, but you have to insert it into this little ignition switch right there. It actually is secure. Now, this is the first year of this generation C-Class here in the US. It was first introduced in 2007 in the Geneva Auto Show, and it became available in 2007 throughout Europe. And it really is a huge step up over the previous generation C-Class. The 2008 model, it's known as the W204. And believe it or not, the E-Class actually shares this platform. And as you saw from outside, it really does share some resemblance to the current S-Class and even the CLS in some form. Just everything is somewhat squished together. And I do have some experience with the older C-Class, and I really did not enjoy that car. I'll explain why in a moment, but for now, let me explain the good about this car. I am actually quite comfortable. I am 6'1", the seat is positioned right where I like it. First thing I did notice is that the transmission hump is a bit on the fat side. You can see how I have to have my legs shifted to the left a little bit. Center stack is spot on though, does not intrude whatsoever. As you can see, just the tranny hump right there. Thigh support is pretty good for the most part. Would have wished for the front section to elevate, but it's tolerable, the seat position. As you can see here on the passenger side, again, perforated leather inserts. It is quite open, so it will feel quite flat. Though the backrest is nicely bolstered, you can see, hugs your torso somewhat. Lumbar support, same thing here on the driver. You can see the headrest has its adjustment. But yeah, actually these seats are quite firm for throughout, even the backrest. Sort of like sitting on top of a plank. Just only, again, your torso is somewhat hugged. Lots of shoulder room. And thankfully the B-pillar is recessed and almost flush with the door, so it will not be intrusive with your elbow. You can see how the armrest just cuts off over here, and the B-pillar just does not bump or does not intrude with your elbow. Interior quality was also a huge step up over the older C-Class. The dashboard, the entire thing, nicely padded, doesn't feel grainy. This will feel, well, it's actually rubberized, so thankfully Mercedes was thoughtful enough. That's actually the display for the radio. Let me close that up for a moment. Glove box, fairly large. You can see a power outlet over there. And it seems to have, air from the AC actually does blow in here, so your glove box is chilled. That's also another good thing. You can store a fruit or something in there, or just chill your owner's manual. and it was damped. Shuts evenly too. The gaps here all nice and even. You can see right there in the end. And this glove box is padded too. This section, just about everything. So that is nicely done. You can make out a little net right here on the side. Now, going right back up, let me just open this again. Hazards, electronic stability control, ESP, I think it's abbreviated for electronic stability program. Rest of the radio should have hands-free controls, possibly Bluetooth, because I can make out the mute and phone over here. And dash CD, heated seats for both passenger and driver. Climate control, it is dual zone. You can see how the light indicates where the temperature is heading. It's automatic, by the way. Fan speed controls. Ashtray. Germans don't ever get rid of their ashtrays and cigarette lighters, but thankfully this is a non-smoker. Just push it again and it will slide back down. These wood accents here, high quality. It looks almost real. You can just see the wood gleaming below. Or if it's fake, then they really did a good job. And I actually like this shifter. It feels as if you're grabbing the shifter of a manual transmission. And this is a 7-speed automatic, by the way. Manual shift mode, just to the left, just and right. You can see right there. You can see this dial right here. Adjust the radio stations, and you can see the look of that radio. Looks like an old analog radio. To the sides, you can see how you can move it around. Once you move it down here, you can adjust your presets, sound controls, rest of the radio, frequency. You could push to confirm and such, but let me get out of there. You guys got the idea. Cup holders. Armrest. Again, let me show you. Push this button, everything will flip open. They're quite small, but the lid is quite sturdy. And the center console is sure-footed. It does not jiggle around at all. I am not a huge fan of this type of lid. It will be somewhat intrusive, or you have to peek inside in order to look inside. But yeah, each side has the button. I can't show you right now, but once I open the passenger door, I will show you. Steering wheel is nicely thick all the way around. Vehicle info, trip computer, things like that. You okay to confirm. Hands-free controls right here. Volume controls for the radio and such. Quite self-explanatory. This is the cruise control lever. Mercedes has always done that separately. Turn signal, wipers. Oops, not what I wanted to do. You have a little latch down below. And the steering wheel does tilt and telescope. And you can see the steering wheel is damped. It's not going to drop on top of your laps. Headlamps, pull for fogs. Parking lamps. E-brake. Just push for the e-brake again. Let me show you. You guys have the idea. Fit finish is pretty good too. You can see on the A-pillar, everything is nice and tight, and it is coated with this cloth. Passenger side, B-pillar. You do have those little holes right there, but you really can't do much to improve that. So, finish is good throughout the interior. And you have the O-shade handles. Damped, spring is concealed. Headliner also is very plush. The back light over there. Door lights, map lights. Not sure why they're not coming on, but here's the center interior light anyways, and you can see how they come on. This is for the sunroof. You can see how the main glass rolls on top of the other. So yeah, that back glass does not open. It just serves as a viewing window. Push to tilt. And you can see the shade close over here, both of them. So that's quite nice. Rearview mirror seems to dim, has a little sensor right there. Universal garage door opener. Oh, okay. No wonder these lights didn't come on, because the light is under the rearview mirror. I couldn't see them. It's a white LED. I don't know if you guys saw. There you go. Door panel nicely padded on top. More wood accents here. Door locks. Power mirrors. And they seem to collapse too. Yep. Mirrors collapse. Auto up and down for the front windows. Same for the back. Window lock. Trunk. Trunk is dislatched. And yeah, the entire door panel up here, nicely padded. Armrest as well. This lower section, while it's not padded, it is coated with this cloth. Quite strange, because I think in the future this will end up tearing, and once you rub your shoes onto there, it will get dirty quite easily. So I'm not really too conformed, I mean, with that choice of material. Let me dislatch the hood. It's hidden right under there. Here's the back seat. Let me show you a better view of the seat again. Materials do carry over to the back seat when it comes to the door panel, same as up front. Let me sit inside. Quite tight, actually. Well, while I'm at it, show you again, better angle of the front seat. Dashboard, everything. Looks quite nice, actually. Your AC, ashtray, power outlet. Now, thigh support is awful back here. The seat is rather low to the ground. You can see how my legs are just right up in the air. And the seat was adjusted where I liked it. And you can see I am quite tight. It's just no more extra room. Thankfully, Mercedes was just thoughtful in adding these inserts here for your knees. So I can sit back here without cramming into the backrest, but it's not a comfortable place, to be quite honest. You do have your seating, the seat pocket right back here. And yeah, the view of the roof right there. You can see the lighting fixtures. Surprisingly, they're not LEDs, such as up front. Thankfully, you have the headrest. Armrest. Nicely padded. Opens right up. Was a little squeaky, as you heard, and it is jiggly. This entire piece of plastic just moves up and down, so that is not sure-footed. It's quite badly made. Huge cup holder, look at that. It's like gymnastics. All of that for the cup holder. You can fit large drinks in there. I think something that just pushes in and out would have been more clever. Here's the trunk. Now, it is just huge. It's massive. I like how the hinges are so close here to the side that even though it doesn't have struts, again, it's recessed here into the side, so it will not intrude with cargo, as you guys can see how that works. So they were quite clever with that design. And again, a massive trunk. The seats did not fold down, so that's quite of a downer. Trunk light here to the side. Fuse box. Let's not mess with that. See what this spare tire looks like. It's really a donut. You can see the jack here in the center. I will show you how this jack works. Mercedes has always been quite different with their jack. First aid kit, right there. Closed solidly. I can really make out that this whole left side was repainted. The paint is very wavy. You guys probably cannot make it out onto the camera. There's the passenger side. Again, passenger side is powered, just as the driver. And as I promised to mention, there's the button for the armrest to pop open. Turn signals on the the mirrors. And please excuse the wind noise, it just really picked out right now. Projected headlamps and fogs. Now, this Mercedes has the familiar 3-liter dual overhead cam V6. I think it's only good for 228 horsepower, which is quite unimpressive in its class. I like how it uses dual latches, so the hood will not flap around at highway speeds. It is rev happy, almost like that of a BMW. And you can hear some with the exhaust burble, which is quite pleasant actually. Now, let me close the windows on this door so you guys can hear. Now, it's very quiet inside. You don't feel the engine vibrations, nor any unpleasant engine notes. Now, this car is quite decent for a Mercedes, considering it starts at, when it was new, I think around $31,000. Which is, to get a car with this type of interior for that price, that's quite excellent. Now, this is not the most basic C300. There's actually a Sport, which is just below that. I think this is the luxury trim by the looks of the wheels. So, likely this one peaked around 34 or so. But still, it's not that bad with this type of interior. But performance, such as the engine, the horsepower, it's quite unimpressive. I mean, you have cars in this price range now just exceeding 228 horsepower, so it's not going to be a rocket. Now, I would probably consider the BMW 3 Series, the 328i. In my opinion, it's a more attractive car, more attractive interior. Fit finish is comparable, maybe better choice of materials here and there. And I know the BMW is much more fun to drive. I mean, I drove the previous generation C-Class, and I did not enjoy the handling. It was very rough. The 2003, 2004 C280s, something like that it was. Another car to consider is the Audi A4. That's also a very fun car to drive with a very good interior and with a very potent turbocharged 2-liter, something like that, which just makes almost comparable horsepower as this V6. So there you go. You have a 4-cylinder making just as much horsepower as this car. That's the C300, and again, if you're in the market for a car in this class, a premium luxury sedan, entry level, take a look at it, and also consider the Audi A4 and the BMW 3 Series. So YouTube, thanks for watching, and that is it for this 2008 Mercedes-Benz C300.
Yeah, here's some legal stuff for you. The views and opinions expressed in the following video may not necessarily reflect those of the title holding automotive dealer or the entity they represent. All videos are filmed with permission by a professional driver on a set course with the collaboration and assistance of local law enforcement authorities. Do not attempt. Logos and brandings of vehicle manufacturers, dealerships, and online social media sites are the sole property of their respective representation used with permission. The To The Redline logo, soundtrack, and web resources, as well as all other associated media, are copyrighted intellectual property of To The Redline LLC. All rights reserved.